Can The Rock and Chris Evans save Christmas? Let's talk about the new holiday action adventure, Red One. Hey everyone, it's David Stark from Watcher Pass. I'm here to talk about Red One, which comes to theaters on November 15th, 2024. It is a new holiday action film that has a different take on the Christmas story, Christmas movie. It is a very interesting take. It's like both modern and traditional, and it's pretty entertaining. My hot take is I think you should watch it. It's not a perfect movie, but it is a fun holiday action adventure with a great cast, a kind of like modern take on a Santa Claus story, and some very entertaining moments. Look, it's not a perfect movie, but it is entertaining. It is enjoyable. I liked it a lot, including just like The Rock and Chris Evans chemistry. So I definitely think you should check it out. Now, if you're wondering, should I see this with my family? It is like a Christmas movie. It feels like it would be for everyone. It is a PG-13 movie. I don't know why they made it PG-13. I mean, the action, there's some action, not a ton. There's, some scary-ish scenes, but not a ton. I mean, really, it feels like this movie is PG-13 because of the language. I don't know why they didn't just tone down the language. Take out like 7 words and this would be fine. They say, a few curse words throughout this movie, and I think that's the main reason it's a PG-13 movie. I would have been fine with the content except for like the curse words. So I really don't know why they made it PG-13, but if you're fine with curse words, fine for your kids. If you don't like language, then maybe hold off. The rest of the content seems fine. And if you're wondering, hey, after I see this movie and I really like it, should I stay for the credits? Is there a stinger? There's no stinger. So once the credits start rolling, you can have, it's already a fairly long movie. It's 2 hours and 2 minutes, so you don't have to stay any longer than that. So all that being said, I'm gonna tell you a little about the film, a few things I liked, a few things I didn't like, and then really quickly go into a recap. So as you can imagine, there'll be spoilers in the recap section. If you don't know what happens in this movie, and you might not, there are some twists along the way. I would turn it off when I get to the recap. Before that, though, I'll keep it vague. I'll keep it spoiler free. I'll let you know when I get to those spoilers. So in Red One, you have The Rock playing Cal Drift, I think is his name, Callum Drift. He is the head of like Santa Claus's security. He kind of like runs security. He is like Santa Claus's close confidant. Santa Claus's nickname is Red One. And so this is like a very kind of like fun, like modern take. Like if Santa Claus was the president of the North Pole and he has like a whole security detail and a whole operation for Christmas. This is kind of that take. Now, unfortunately, they're getting ready for Christmas, and a big event happens that threatens Christmas. Now, are The Rock and Chris Evans, who plays someone on the nihilist, going to be able to save Christmas? Well, you have to watch the movie to find out. So, things I like about this movie. The first, I love the cast. It's a really fun cast. I mean, you've got The Rock and Chris Evans. I love both of them. They are both fun in this movie. Their chemistry is really fun. Like their interactions are great. You've also got J.K. Simmons as Santa Claus. He's not in it a ton, but his character is really fun. You got Lucy Liu playing the main character, and Kiernan Shipka plays a villain. So I liked all of them. I just really love like The Rock and Chris Evans chemistry. Second thing I love the world. I like that this is like a modern-ish take on the Santa Claus universe and the Santa Claus story. You've got like a whole operation, you've got the security detail, you've got, like code words and things like that. It is a fun, like different take on your traditional Santa Claus story. And you got J.K. Simmons as Santa Claus. He does not look like your normal Santa Claus. Dude is ripped. Respect. Like his arms look great. He looks like an athletic Santa Claus, and that's part of the story as well. And the third thing I love the humor. It's funny. It's not like crazy funny, but there are definitely some really fun moments. Mostly the interactions between Chris Evans and The Rock. Their characters are very different characters, and so the little like tension between them and the funny moments between them are a lot of fun. So all that being said, things I didn't love as much about this movie. The first, CG. There's a lot of CG. That's representing the North Pole. It's representing a lot of fantasy things. So you expect CG, but it is prevalent and it is very noticeable. At times, it felt like I was watching like The Golden Compass. If you've seen that movie or if you know that reference, it is an older movie that had prominent CG. This one also has it. The second thing I didn't love as much, the story kind of feels stitched together. I mean, it is like a modern take with some like traditional Christmas myths, and it does feel very convenient, very stitched together, but it's fine. It is entertaining. It gets you from point A to point B. So not a huge thing, just something I noticed. And the last thing I didn't love as much, I kind of already mentioned it with the like four kids, like who is this for? Like, I don't know why it's a PG-13 movie. Tone down the language. Like I don't mind cursing, but a movie like this, you could have easily made this a PG movie. More people could see it. I guess they just, they wanted to have a little bit more edgy of a Christmas movie, and I guess it gets there, but I don't think it went edgy enough. to be a true PG-13, they just kind of like add a little sprinkle of naughty to this movie to pump it into the PG-13 realm for some reason. So all that being said, Red One comes to theaters on November 15th, 2024. Like I said, I think you should watch it. I enjoyed it. It's fun. It's entertaining. I also saw it in 40X, so that was also fun, having the seats move when action scenes were happening, having like snow spray and things like that. It was a cool experience, but I definitely think it'd be fun in all theaters. So definitely check out Red One. And I'm gonna really quickly go into a recap right now. So if you don't know what happens in this movie, I would turn off now because there will be spoilers. So in Red One, you have Chris Evans playing Jack O'Malley. He's like a thief and kind of a general troublemaker. His specialty is finding people that don't want to be found, finding information that doesn't want to be found. He, at the start of the movie, sneaks into some sort of like National Geological Monitoring Organization and installs a tracking device in their building to like, I guess, monitor their network. And he's looking for a certain signal. And later, there's some seismic activity that triggers it, and he gets this information. He locates where the seismic activity was and sends it to his contact. His contact pays him very handsomely for this information. And Jack thinks, okay, that was it. Job well done. He's also apparently a lousy father. He has a kid, but he doesn't really see him that much. I think he's worried about messing him up the way that he has messed up his own life. So he tries to stay away, but that just also means he's just generally a bad father. Now, Cal is played by The Rock. He is the commander of the Santa Claus like security forces. Their acronym is ELF. I don't remember exactly what it stood for, but that is what their acronym is. He kind of keeps everyone in line, is like the head of security, make sure that that Saint Nick is, you know, safe and well. He also is like a very close confidant to Saint Nick. It seems like he's almost like a second person for him. They seem to be very close friends. So he seems to be really good at his job, but he's planning on resigning because it feels like he has kind of like lost that Christmas spirit, lost the joy of it. He seems to be very disturbed that the naughty list continues to grow. It is growing year over year. And so I guess at this point, the naughty individuals has surpassed the good individuals. And so he is getting a little disheartened with it. He wants someone who's younger, more kind of like driven to step into his role and like lead the Christmas forces going forward. So unfortunately for him, that information that Jack sent seems to have been used nefariously. A team uses that information to locate where Santa Claus was and break into the North Pole. They kidnap Santa Claus, and Cal tries to pursue them, but they are fast, they are well equipped. They eventually get away. So now Cal has to track down Saint Nick the day before Christmas. They have one day to go before Christmas happens, and it is not looking good. So he gets the help of Mora, which is this like intergovernmental agency that's there to protect all mythological creatures, including Santa Claus. And that the head of Mora is this person named Zoe, played by Lucy Liu. Now, their first clue to track down Saint Nick is that information that was sold. They know about the information, and it is sold by this person named the Wolf. That's his, I think that's his nickname. But it turns out to be Jack. And so they eventually are able to track him down, and they send a team to try to apprehend Jack. He puts up a good fight. Surprising, considering he didn't seem like he could put up a good fight. But he does put up a decent enough fight. But eventually they capture him, take him back, and question him. Now, he cracks pretty easily. Look, he sells information to the highest bidder, and Mora offers to pay him more. So he eventually says that he can help. And how's he able to help? Well, he is an untrustworthy person, and he doesn't really trust his clients. So he installed a tracker on the clients. They said they're VPN, whatever, very loosely computer, but he said he installed a tracker on the client's VPN so he can look where they are. And this person's apparently in Aruba, so they're able to track them down to Aruba. Now, Cal and Jack go to Aruba and they eventually find this person. It is this person named Ted, played by Nick Kroll, and he is a middleman and information broker. He just connects people who can get information with people who want it, and they press him for who his employer is, and he says he can't say the name. So he writes the name down, and Jack, not really knowing much about this world, ends up saying the name. And the name is apparently Grilla, and apparently she can hear when people say her name, because when she hears that name, bad things happen. Now, Grilla is a like old Christmas witch. She was very interested in punishing the naughty, and so she appears to be kind of trying to make that plan come into motion. So when Grilla hears her name being called, she takes over Ted. She's able to apparently possess people. She takes over Ted and tells Cal and Jack that she is going to punish all the naughty, and then she sends some snowmen to attack. Now, Cal and Jack are barely able to beat the snowmen, but they do, and then they have Mora look up recent uses of magic because Grilla is a Christmas witch, and so they find some uses of magic in Germany. And this is interesting because it is near where Saint Nick's brother, Krampus, is. Krampus and Saint Nick used to work together. Krampus was the one that came up with all the lists, apparently, and he really liked the naughty list. And eventually he focused only on the naughty side, only on punishing them. Saint Nick wasn't okay with this. He thought, he was too focused on the negative, and so they eventually split, and Krampus now lives in Germany. So also, apparently, Grilla and Krampus used to be a thing, used to be a couple, but they broke up a little while ago. So Cal and Jack go to visit Krampus, and they ask him about Grilla. He says that she came by recently to pick up this like glass snow globe that she had given him. Whatever the German was, it translated into glass prison. I don't remember what it was, but there was a lot of German in here. But she eventually took it, and it seems like this device is able to capture naughty people and hold them prisoner. But unfortunately for Cal and Jack, they are in Krampus's realm. They snuck in to get this information, and now he wants to hold them hostage. And he says essentially that Cal has to stay, Jack can go. Now, Jack, you would think, being like on the naughty list, being kind of like a selfish individual, would leave, but he has a change of heart. He engineers a way for Cal and him to both leave. Cal and Krampus. He says that Cal challenges Krampus to like a slapping contest, and eventually Cal is able to overtake him, and they're able to get out of here and flee. So, and now they have a lead, but they don't really know where to go. They're trying to figure out what to do next, and Jack gets a special delivery, and he also gets a call from his son Dylan at this time. And Dylan also got a special delivery. It's these snow globes that we've seen. Now, Dylan, not knowing any better, not knowing what this was like, I don't know why you got me this weird present. Like, I don't know, it's odd. I don't know why you would give it to me. And he takes the snow globe and starts shaking it up. And Jack tells him no, but it's too late. Dylan gets sucked into the snow globe, sucked into the snow prison. Jack, because he doesn't want his son to be in prison by himself, doesn't want to like have him be alone, takes a snow globe, shakes it, tells Cal that, it's his son, he's got to do this, and for Cal to come find him. So now Jack and Dylan are imprisoned in Grilla's lair. Now, Cal has to figure out where they are, and you would think it'd be easy because Mora installed a tracking device on Jack. It seems like tracking devices are everywhere, on the laptops, on the clients, on the people, whatever. But they're not able to locate it. So it means that Jack is somewhere that is cloaked. And Cal works out that he must be in the North Pole. He must still be in the North Pole, and that must be where Grilla's lair is. They never left the North Pole. All that stuff was a distraction. All the ships leaving the North Pole, all of the pursuit that Cal had, that was all distraction. They're actually still there. So Cal and Zoe, the head of Mora, sneak into the North Pole to try to free both Saint Nick and now Jack. Now, while Cal and Zoe are coming here, Jack and Dylan talk, and Jack basically apologizes to Dylan for being a bad dad, and that, he wants to do better, and he wants to like, be better by his son. And because of this, it seems like that is the trick that the naughty device wanted. And so because Jack has made amends, both Jack and Dylan's globes break. Very convenient because like Jack has done a lot of very bad stuff, stolen a lot of stuff. You would think he would have to like purge all of this to escape the naughty prison, but he doesn't. It's just that one thing, and now Jack and Dylan are free. So after they're free, Cal shows up because Cal was also tracking them, and he gets there and finds them. Now, when Cal gets there, he's able to free the rest of the guards. It seems like Grilla has an army of shapeshifters. Sure, why not? And they have taken over the North Pole. That's why no one noticed it. They took out the guards, shapeshifted into the guards, shapeshifted into Mrs. Claus, and so they have been running the North Pole, and they've been using the North Pole's like manufacturing capabilities to reproduce this like prison orb, and also been using Santa's energy to power all of this. And so that's why Santa never left, because they needed him for his energy to power the reproduction of these prison glass orbs. So Cal and Jack were able to free the guards and eventually locate Saint Nick. And when they locate him, he is being loaded onto the sleigh to then be used to deliver all these globes across the world. Grilla is going to be running it, but she needs Saint Nick's power to run the sleigh. And so he is coming with her. She's on the sleigh. She's getting ready to go. Now, Cal and Jack get there. They, jump on the sleigh, try to stop it. Jack is eventually able to disconnect the reindeer from the sleigh. The reindeer fly off, and the sleigh had just taken off, so it crashes down onto the runway, uh, hits the side of the runway, and Grilla flies over. Seems like all's well that ends well, right? Like, seems like Grilla fell over. They're able to free Saint Nick. Maybe Christmas is saved. Oh, not yet. Grilla comes back in her true form, an 18-foot ogre with two tails. She fights Cal. She fights Jack. She also fights Saint Nick. And it seems like she is going to get the upper hand when, boom, Krampus shows up and tries to stop her. Now, Krampus joins the fight. They used to be together. It seems like they have some history. Grilla seems not too happy to see Krampus, and so she fights Krampus as well. Um, it looks like Christmas is not going to be saved. It looks like Grilla is going to win, but then Saint Nick calls the reindeer, says like some sort of keyword for the reindeer, and they attack Grilla. They hit her with their like superpower and magic horns, knock Grilla into the sleigh full of imprisonment orbs. When she gets there, she writhes around, and all the orbs, I guess, kind of combine and trap Grilla in this prison. So now she is a prisoner of the Naughty Orb. I think it's gonna be tough for her to get out. I feel like she's gonna have a lot of confessions to make, but apparently you only need one confession to get out, so maybe she'll be able to. But it doesn't seem like it. She seems to be stuck there. So Grilla is trapped. Christmas is saved. Uh, Nick and Krampus kind of like make up a little bit, although Krampus doesn't stay. He goes back to his lair, but it seems like their relationship is getting better. Now, the North Pole jumps into high gear, tries to save Christmas. They're behind, but they're able to get all the gifts loaded. Santa is getting ready to take off, and he invites Jack and Dylan to fly with him. So they all get on the sled. Santa, Cal, Jack, and Dylan take off, and Santa goes deliver. And this was fun because it was like a very kind of like, again, modern take on it. Santa is able to like tactically enter all of these homes and using like various tricks and magic and technology is able to basically make Christmas happen. They have like essentially refueling pods for the sleigh that like add new toys. The toys are all shrunken, so that's why he's able to like quickly move them, and then they'll like grow to full size after he puts them down. It's fun. It is enjoyable. It has a very different feel from a lot of the other Christmas movies you've seen. So I like this part. They are able to save Christmas, and while they're on the sleigh, Jack and Dylan talk, and they kind of like improve their relationship. They joke about what happened. They kind of like talk about the whole scenario, and it seems like they are going to be just fine. Now, also during this, seems to regain the joy of Christmas, and so he decides to stay on if Saint Nick will let him. Saint Nick does, and so Cal seems like he is going to retain his commander of the elf position. So all's well that ends well. Christmas is saved. Santa Claus is free. Cal is in this position, and Dylan and Jack seem to be doing better. But that is Red One. I could definitely see a sequel here. I was surprised that like Jack didn't get offered a position on Saint Nick's force or something. I don't know what it would be, but I'm sure he would be very useful. It seemed like he ingratiated himself to both of them, so I was surprised there. But hey, you gotta save something for the sequel. I could totally see another movie where they gotta save Christmas and Jack gets involved also, but that is for some future time. Before that, make sure to check out Red One coming to theaters on November 15th, 2024. If you do watch it, let me know what you think. Let me know what you liked and didn't like. I'd love to hear it. And thanks so much for watching. If you like this review, please like and subscribe to this channel. It helps me out a lot. Make sure all my new content goes straight to you. Thank you.